Pictures at Nanda's house. Narayan and certain other devotees had remarked to the master that Nanda Bose, an aristocrat of Bagbazar, had many pictures of gods and goddesses in his house. Hence Sri Ramakrishna intended to pay a visit to Nanda's house in the afternoon. A Brahmin woman devoted to the master lived nearby. She often came to see him at Dakshineswar. She was extremely sorrowful over the death of her only daughter, and the master had agreed to go to her house. She had invited him with great earnestness. From her house the master was to go to the house of Ganu's mother. Another devotee, the younger Narain, had said to Sri Ramakrishna that he would not be able to visit him often on account of his having to prepare for his examinations. Master, to the younger Narain, I didn't send for you today. The younger Narain, smiling, what can be done about it now? Master, well, my child, I don't want to interfere with your studies. You may visit me when you have leisure. The master said these words as if he were piqued. He was ready to go to Nanda Bose's house. A palanquin was brought for him, and he got into it repeating the name of God. He had put on a pair of black varnished slippers and a red bordered cloth. As Sri Ramakrishna sat down in the palanquin, put the slippers by his side. He accompanied the palanquin on foot. Paresh joined them. They entered the gate of Nanda's house, crossed the spacious square and stopped in front of the building. The members of the family greeted the master. He asked them to hand him the slippers and then got out of the palanquin and entered the large hall. It was a very spacious room. Pictures of gods and goddesses were hanging on all sides. Nanda Bose and his brother Pasupati saluted Sri Ramakrishna. The devotees of the master also arrived. Girish's brother Atul came, and Prasanna's father, who was a frequent visitor at Nanda's house, was there. Prasanna was a devotee of the master. The master looked at the pictures. And a few other devotees stood around him. Pasupati was explaining the pictures to them. The first picture was of Vishnu with 4 arms. At the very sight of it Sri Ramakrishna was overwhelmed with ecstasy. He sat down on the floor and remained a few minutes in that spiritual mood. In the second picture Rama was blessing Hanuman, with his hand on the devotee's head. Hanuman's gaze was fixed on Rama's lotus feet. The master looked at the picture a long time and exclaimed with great fervor, "Ah me! Ah me!" The third picture was of Krishna standing with flute to his lips under the Kadamba tree. The fourth was of Vamana, the dwarf, who was an incarnation of Vishnu. The master looked intently at this picture. Next the master looked at a picture of Nrasimha, and then at one of Krishna with a herd of cows. Krishna was tending the cows with his cowherd friends on the bank of the Jamuna at Vrindavan. Said, "A lovely picture." Sri Ramakrishna then saw pictures of Dhumavati, Shorasi, Bhuvaneswari, Tara, and Kali. He said, "All these portray the terrible aspects of the Divine Mother. If one keeps these pictures, one should worship them, but you must be lucky to be able to hang them like that on the wall." At the sight of Annapurna's picture, Sri Ramakrishna exclaimed with great fervor, "Grand! Grand!" The next picture was one of Radhika as monarch. She was seated on a throne in the Nikunja grove, surrounded by her woman attendants. Sri Krishna guarded the entrance of the grove as her officer. Next was Sri Krishna's picture. Then came a picture of Sarasvati, the goddess of learning and music. It was in a glass case. She was in an ecstatic mood, playing melodies on the veena.